new Origin M-80, this new heavy fighter you see sitting behind me, is probably the best thing that's come out of 4.8 so far. Everything else in this update has been a complete disaster and boondoggle from one end to the other. But this thing is a welcome reprieve from all that nonsense. This is a really nice ship, and I've had a lot of fun taking it out and looking at it and being surprised at what it can do. It's just been a welcome distraction from everything else that's broken in this game right now. So without further ado, let's dive in and take a look at this really nice ship. Thanks for watching. All right, guys, I'm going to start here at the front like I always do. So the nose of the ship sort of looks like a Raptor. Man, it looks really, really clean, really nice. And right here, it looks like a radar. I think that's our radar. Really, really nice. Here's our nose landing gear. Looks pretty neat, but the only thing this tire can do is go straight. It doesn't have the ability to turn, so you're not going to be taxiing this thing. Not that you really have to, but there you go. Looks really, really good. Man, this thing looks so sexy. I love this orange, man. Yeah, I'm a big fan of orange, man. So, love it. There's a thruster. The very first time I looked at this ship, I'm like, I see a bunch of panel seams, but I don't see nothing that it would do anything. I didn't know. You know, I don't ever look at anybody else's review. I don't want to be swayed or tainted or sound like a wind chime compared to everybody else. The only thing I noticed, first time was like, oh, it's got a size 4 Rhino repeater right here. Cool. Right down here there's 8 little Pioneer electromagnetic missiles. And there's a carbon copy over on the starboard side. And just looking here at the main landing gear, there's like door hinges and stuff. It's very, very busy. I'm surprised that they used, I guess, 3 wheels on each side, 3 tires, but that's a design choice they picked. And if we work our way around, man, it looks so good. That looks so good. And what this reminds me of, this little pancake area, it reminds me of the F-14 Tomcat. That's kind of what it reminds me of. And at first I wasn't so sure about how they swept the wings back under here, but I think it looks great now. It's so well done. Over here on the starboard side, same thing. It's just cookie cutter, same panel seams. And there's the other 8 little Pioneer 1 missiles. And that's it. That's the exterior. At least for the walk around. Alright, cool. Now we're going to take a look, because there's a lot going on underneath this ship. And we're going to take a look at that. So when you first walk up, you're looking at it like, okay, what is all this? And, then you see that. The first time I saw this thing at DefenseCon, kind of walked up and I saw that. I played with, there was a lot of people, so I wasn't able to really mess with a whole lot. So I'm thinking, that's all this is? Well, that's kind of boring. But this is pretty cool. The fact that this thing has the ability to store 2 size 1s or 1 size 2 it's just fantastic. And I'm so excited for that. But there's so much more. So right here we have, here on the port side, we have a little refuel probe. Really nice. Then over here on the port and starboard side, we have 2 shield generators. 1 and 2. Fantastic. All the components on the ship are they are civilian type C. Then right here we have a gigantic quantum drive. Well, I'll say gigantic, but we have a quantum drive. Look how it flips. Now that is really cool how they did that. And then it flips it again. Well done. Fantastic. And again, the first time I saw this ship, I was like looking at all these seams. I'm like, there's a lot of seams here, but they don't seem like they do anything. I'm like, okay. And you hit the door. This is how you get into the ship, obviously. Staircase going up, and then we're on the inside of the ship. And then if we close the door, so this little thing points to the door, which is, again, very well done. I'm going to walk over here and turn the lights on. Okay, so there we go. Now it's all lit up like a disco. Man, it looks good in here, doesn't it? And we'll work our way around. Okay, so right here, when you look at that, it's like, what is this? Well, this is a place you can put 1, 2, 3 boxes, like the little micro SCU containers. And if you're going to run box missions, you can put your boxes right here, 1, 2, and 3. How cool is that? That's pretty sick. Gun rack, obviously. Gravity generator, there's nothing there. Empty space, light switch. Then we have a power plant. Right next to that is a cooler. And coming around on this side, some type of component. I don't know what that might be. I have no idea. Something for the future. Another power plant. Life support. Some kind of doodad here. It doesn't really do nothing. Then we have our built-in storage, which is 1 SCU, a built-in storage. Really nice. Again, this is our door switch. Then we have a relay and computer panel. All right, cool. And then back here, obviously, we have our rack. And you can, let's see, I didn't lie down. Let's see if we can lie down so you can see what that looks like. F, lie down. You can see like these little data thingies up here. Kind of neat. If I look, let's see. I can't hit the light switch. There's a light switch over here. I can't seem to manipulate it. Well, there is a light switch over here. I can't seem to look at it over my shoulder. It must be. See, it's way down there. Way down there. Maybe if I wasn't in heavy armor, maybe you could manipulate it. But folks, that's really all there is here. What I really would have liked to have seen here. Number one, why can't we have a little flip down engineering terminal like right here? Can't understand for the life of me why they don't have one, since engineering is part of the game. But either way, another thing I would have liked to have seen, maybe have this stuff condensed a little bit and have a small little food prep area, and then maybe even a little pop out head, something like that. But that's just nitpicking. All in all, it looks great. We'll get into the pilot seat here. Okay, looking down, we have an exit button, open exterior. Let's see. Open exterior, close exterior. We have lights on, lights off. That's really cool. See, I love that. That's one of the best features of this ship. Ejection, flight ready, engines on. There's nothing here. This doesn't do nothing. And really, that's it. There's nothing else. There's no other switchology other than that. And that makes it pretty simple. Okay. We'll turn the ship on. Let's see. It's the typical things you're used to seeing. Okay. It does have the light amplification, which is fantastic for a new ship. One of the few that's come out that it actually had it. So thanks for that. All right, guys, now that we've gone over the interior and exterior components, Let's talk about the weapons. What kind of firepower this thing has to offer. Let's go check that out. So these are size 5 Galdrine repeaters. These are size 4 Rhino repeaters. Okay. It has 8 Pioneer 1 electromagnetic missiles here, and then 8 more over here on the starboard side. And then behind these 2 panels, there's 2 Thunderbolt size 3 missiles here and 2 more right there. Let's check these out real quick. The missiles part is really cool, how they pop out. And then it closes up. Isn't that sexy? Yeah, that's the Thunderbolt 3 missiles. If I close it back up, really nice. Either way, that's the weapons that the ship comes with. When I first saw the ship, I didn't realize it had these size 5s tucked in there, but it does. It's pretty sick. What we're going to do now is we're going to cut to a spreadsheet that I did, kind of show you a brief overview of the numbers and the stealth characteristics of the ship, that kind of thing. Yeah. All right, here's a comparison chart, and I just wanted to show you how the M-80 stacks up against the other heavies. It's got the second best speed of all the heavies, and it's definitely the fastest in nav. Pitch and yaw is below average, and it carries forward with the boosted. It does have really good roll, so there you go. Up and down and strafe are the worst in the bunch, and it's definitely noticeable when you're taking off and landing vertically. You can definitely notice it takes forever, it seems like, to get to where you're going. Stock DPS is pretty doggone good. These rascals here can dish out a substantial amount of DPS. Put some Gatling guns on these things. With the gimbals locked, you're 6,300. Unlocked, you're like 5,300. So this thing can pack a wallop. And this is not even including the missile DPS, the missile damage. So armor, the worst in the bunch. Shields, respectable. Total health hit points, worst in the bunch. So you're going to have to be managing your shields. This is going to be kind of a hit and run, manage your shields kind of ship. Let's see, quantum fuel, 1.9, second best. You can jump from, I don't know, Microtech to R-Corp and still have 50% of your fuel left. Pretty good. So there you go. And then over here, this is a stealth chart, and this is a score that I made up. And all this is just an average of these 3 characteristics: your infrared, how much heat your ship's putting out, your electronic emissions, and then your radar ping, radar reflectivity ping. This is an average of the front, side, and the top. So these are numbers that have been assigned by CIG to basically, so if you have your nose pointed at your enemy and he pings, this is the rating of which has been assigned to the nose of the ship. This is the rating that's been assigned to the side of the ship if the radar hits the side of your ship. And then this is the number of the rating if they hit like the full outline from looking, like if you were at a complete, perfectly right angle to the nose of the enemy ship, and when they pinged, they got your whole silhouette. That's the number that's been assigned to that. So I don't know the exact calculation that's being performed or whether or not they pick you up. All I know is that the lower these numbers, the better. But I guess that's probably based upon their radar settings, whether or not, how strong they've got their radar set to and how far away you are. Eventually, once you get within a certain distance, they'll be able to pick you up. So there you go. Lower is better. The one thing that jumps out at me is I don't believe this number is correct for the Shiv, but this is the actual number that's in the game right now. So based upon the data that's in the game right now, the Grey Shiv has the best overall stealth score, with the Lightning coming in at second and the M-80 coming in at third. I think this is wrong. I think the M-80 is probably second. So there you go. Like I said, all this is just a quick way to kind of make sense of all this. And there you go. That's what it is. It works in my head. Just to kind of show you how that stacks up against the lights. Check this out. So here's the light fighters chart. I mean, look at the Talon and the Talon Strike. Man, these little rascals are doggone invisible. But the M-80 has got a better stealth score than the Gladius. and right there with the Hawk. So pretty interesting. And if we go back and look at the light fighter comparison chart, M-80 is right there with these cats in speed, faster than most of them and boosted, and tied with the Buccaneer and Nav. Now, these cats are going to eat their lunch. It's going to eat the M-80's lunch in a turn and all that jazz. But just real quickly, I wanted to show you that. So there you go. There is the numbers for the M-80. Great looking ship. Moving on. All right, guys, I'm on Ship's Performance Viewer, and I just wanted to briefly go over some of this information here, give you an idea of how I set it up with stock components. So this is stock. This is the stock tab right here. As you can see, it's got the stock guns on it. And what you could do is you could upgrade these and bring this DPS up. But I wanted to show you like if the difference between locking the gimbal and unlocking the gimbal, what your DPS does. It goes up quite a bit. So you take a negative 614 hit by flying around in gimbal mode. But also you can see all of the components on the ship are all civilian grade C. Okay. But we can make this better. Our stock stealth score is 12,212. Okay. Just remember that number. Now on this one, what I've done is put these AD5B Ballistic Gatlingsj on, and I've locked the gimbals, and now we're pumping 5,400 DPS with a 57 alpha increase, which is pretty amazing. Components, I added the civilian grade A shields, 2 of those. Cooler is a snowpack, industrial grade A. Put this V801 Victor 801-12 military grade A radar on it. 2 Genoa power plants. Okay. And then I added the Bolt quantum drive. And what that does to our rating, it drops it down from 55 to like 4213, from like 24,000 down to 15,875. That brings our stealth score down to from 12,212 to 9,074, which is pretty doggone good. And to kind of put that into some type of perspective for you here, let's see. All right, so here's the stock score. At 9,070, we're now this thing is pretty doggone stealthy compared to the other stock ships, right? Now if I go over to the light fighters, and now we're in their playground. So if you come up against other players that haven't upgraded their ship, you're going to be just as, if not more stealthy than, say, the Buccaneer. You're going to be pretty doggone stealthy. So, I mean, you know, there's a trade-off. These numbers you can't change. These are the ones you're messing around with. So if the ship is more stealthy for cross-section of radar pings, then it's going to remain so. You're not going to be changing that. All I'm saying is you can affect these numbers here and make just overall score lower, which is better. So just keep that in mind. So one more thing I want to show you here on the performance viewer. I want to show you this. This is kind of so you can see like the size comparison between M-80 and like the F8 Light, you know, the F8 Lightning, and here is the Mirai Guardian. We get a side view of it, and you can kind of see how these things stack up to each other. Pretty neat, man. It's a fairly big ship. I mean, it's a heavy fighter. So there you go. There is Ship's Performance Viewer, and there's all the useless data. It's important to know. I could tell you, hey man, this thing's great, but what do the numbers say? So that's what the numbers say. Alrighty then. Okay, so I ended up taking the ship out and running a couple bounty missions. Now I don't have a reputation, so it's just basically getting started, those type of missions, you know. And it was like 4 missions where You know, there was just an easy little target, starter ship type. And they weren't even moving, man. It was like 4 or 5 of them. It was basically just a bunch of rinse, dry, and repeat of those type of missions. Like I said, just real quickly, we launched out of here at Babbage, and it was basically just a bunch of stops here around Microtech. And it was basically, I would find a ship, and he would just be sitting there. I'd shoot him, and every once in a while, it was like they were, I don't know, they were asleep. I don't know what happened. Real easy starter ship type, like Mustangs, 125Is, you know, little ships like that. There was even one was an Aurora MR, something like that. Maybe, I don't know. And get your pips set up. It's a pretty, see, I mean, they're not even doing nothing. It's not even fair. They're just kind of floating. And these size 4 and 5 repeaters make fairly short work of them. Do recommend you get you some Gatling guns. And yeah, simple. Almost kind of embarrassing to even show. I'm going to show you one more. I like the new explosions. I don't know what I'm shooting at. I'm shooting at the pips, and it's like, what? As you can see, I have my gimbals locked. My gimbals are locked. That's over 4,000 DPS. Yeah. Pretty simple stuff. I think it was like 3 of those missions, and then that one bunker run, and that was it. Nothing to it. Simple. I wish I had more to show you, but it is what it is. Thank you, CIG in 4.8. Awesome. There you go. All in all, ship performs pretty well. Figure at least show you that. And I'll unload it, and off we go. All right, guys. I'm going to show you how to stick 2 size 2 containers inside this M-80. Let's go. All right, so first things first. These aren't meant to be in here, okay? And I know what you're thinking, like, well, Anchor, why would I even want to do this? Well, there may be a scenario where you, I don't know, maybe you do a bounty mission, or maybe you happen to relieve somebody of some cargo. I don't care. Are you just going to leave it there? What are you going to do? Well, there is a way to get it in here, and it's not easy, but I'm going to do my best to show you how to do it. Now, cargo, if you hadn't been doing any cargo lately, is very tricky. The mechanics, the physics of this stuff is garbage at the moment, but what you want to do is just get one in. Go ahead and get this one in, and be very careful with it. See how it doesn't want to stop moving? All right, so you can walk around this thing. All right, kind of push it over. So the whole premise of what we're going to do is we're going to slide this over here. So what we got to do is we got to get up here and stand right here. Look at this thing, and then turn. All right. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to pull this up. And when you might not get it on your first attempt, it is not easy to do. What you're going to do is set very slowly, set this thing down. Okay, and then you're going to push the button and pick this thing up. And keep it up in the air for just a minute, okay? Keep it up. Don't drop it. Set it down nice and easy. All right. And then just kind of pull this over out of your way just a little bit so you can get in your seat. There you go. And now you can get in your seat and go. All right, so we'll do that. Store the thing. It's still there. F. Power up. Engines. Take off. We have Idris. Big nasty beastie. All right. Landing. Here we go. Let's set this dude down.
Landing complete.
Engines.
Inactive.
Then get out of the seat. And there it is. And then getting it out of here, just open the door. Push it on out of the way. Push it on out of the way. And folks, that's it. Well, there you go, folks. There is the M-80. And this thing is really, really nice. And I've had a really good time taking it out and flying it and doing a review on it, and I really enjoyed it. I think it's a great ship. It's fantastic. Look at the fact that it's got internal storage and those places to put those boxes to do box missions. You can carry 2 SU of cargo on the drop down rack, and if you do it just right, you can get 4 more on the inside. So just the versatility of it, the DPS, man, you can get this thing up to over 6,000 DPS. It's just a monster in disguise. So great looking ship. Bravo to the design team to put this together. Y'all did an amazing job. So y'all should be very, very proud of your accomplishment. So all in all, if the video was a complete junk, please consider giving me a thumbs up. That would be awesome. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, and I certainly hope you do, please consider hitting that subscribe button. You know what that does. Anyway, y'all take care and have a great day, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Ready, anchor, hand salute. Ready, 2. And there you go, guys. Bye.